Imagine this. You're holding the space for someone, and you notice how they try to break their flow. It's almost as if there's an invisible barrier they keep running into. They might start to interrupt themselves, resisting their own natural process. Isn't it interesting how people have this tendency to run away from themselves, to avoid their own feelings? It's as if there's this invisible fear, this fear of digging too deep, asking the wrong questions, or confronting a past that might just be too painful to look at. But here's where the magic begins. You, as the one holding the space, don't need to do the work for them. You don't need to rush in with answers or try to fix anything. Your job is simply to be there, to stay calm, strong, present, and unshakable. It's like a steady rock amidst a storm, isn't it? They can't break you, because you're the space. You're not moved by their fears or attempts to pull away. Instead, you remain grounded, confident, sure of yourself. What if the key to unlocking their potential lies in the simple truth? As you stay calm, sure of yourself and grounded, you begin to encourage them to investigate themselves. You see, when you hold the space, gently nudging them to ask the questions they've been avoiding, you open the door to new perspectives. This is where things begin to shift. You're not forcing them to confront anything. You're inviting them, guiding them, without pressure, to ask themselves questions they never dared to ask. You might notice, as they begin to question, the blocks in their thinking, their limitations start to unravel. This is the moment when energy that's been stuck begins to flow again. Their self-correcting mechanisms, the internal wisdom that we all have, begins to activate. What's fascinating is, all of this happens just by asking a few simple questions, just by encouraging them to look within. But you don't need to be afraid of messing up, because the truth is, you can't mess it up. The moment you get them to start questioning, even just a little bit, their own flaws in logic will surface. When they see that, their internal mechanisms kick in automatically. It's like a switch flipping on. The process begins, and they start to solve their own problems. Isn't it amazing to witness? Let's pause for a moment. Think about this. If you stay calm, present, and grounded, if you consistently hold the space without judgment, it's as if you're creating the conditions for them to find their own answers. You aren't pushing them into anything. You're creating an environment where they can safely explore questions and comfort. It's almost as if, by remaining solid and unwavering, they start to trust the process. They trust themselves more. They see they can handle the discomfort, that they can ask the tough questions and survive it. And in doing so, they begin to uncover the very resources they've always had within them. The wisdom, the strength, the resilience. This is the power of holding the space. The more you can stay grounded, the more they feel safe to explore, and the more they unlock their own healing process. You're not solving their problems for them. You're simply helping them to realize that they're fully capable of solving them on their own. Isn't that beautiful? So as you hold the space, as you remain calm, confident, and unshakable, you begin to encourage them to ask the right questions. You gently nudge them to confront things they've been avoiding. And in that process, they start to see themselves from new angles. They begin to realize that all the answers they've been searching for were already inside them, just waiting to be uncovered. All they needed was the space to do it. And isn't it amazing how, once they begin questioning, they start to shift. Their old patterns begin to dissolve. Their past no longer controls them. The very act of questioning of opening their mind to new possibilities allows the healing to unfold naturally. It's like once the ball starts rolling, it takes care of itself. You don't need to force it. You just need to be there, holding the space. Think about this. When you stay grounded in the face of resistance, you're like the constant, unmovable force that helps them to break free from their own limitations. They'll look at their problems from a new perspective, and in doing so, they'll unlock the energy that's been stuck for so long. It's as if you're helping them open the floodgates of their own healing process. One gentle question, one subtle shift at a time. And here's the secret, you can't mess it up. Once they start questioning, they'll begin to see the cracks in their own logic. And their self-correcting mechanisms will kick in. It's almost like a process unfolding on its own, naturally, because the mind knows exactly how to heal itself when given the right conditions. You just need to help create those conditions. The rest happens by itself. So in summary, your job isn't to fix anything, it's to stay grounded, calm and present, holding that space for someone to begin their journey of self-discovery and healing. You don't need to provide the answers. All you need to do is encourage them to ask the questions, and in doing so, you'll watch them begin to solve their own problems. The power to heal is already within them. You're simply guiding them to remember that, aren't you?